We look to be up and running. Alrighty. We are back again with some more Run&Bun. Our current furthest hardcore Nuzlocke attempt. Continuing off with more of the Team Aqua Hideout runs, which have been some of the most nerve-wracking and difficult fights that I've had to plan for so far. It's definitely been putting me to the test, including one unintentional death so far, which I hope to keep to that. We only have 4 more fights left, including the boss trainer at the end, Aqua admin Matt, who has a pretty scary team as well. Yeah, so the goal here is to get at least 2 more fights done. I have the next fight planned here. It should be basically riskless, barring some really incredible bad luck, but we should be fine. The next fight, though, is the one I'm the most scared about. It's the one that majority of runners end up sacrificing them on just because of how luck-based it is. So, and I do have a sort of game plan for it, but still a very scary fight. So yeah, why don't we already have the first fight prepped here, so why don't we go and do that. So yeah, we gotta do the whole run back here with all the teleport pads. So go here, go here, and go here. Alright, so we went this way. I think we last beat this person? Yeah, because we're about to face grunt number 6, I believe. I forget. We did beat this one, right? Yeah. So I forget which person was left. If I happen to run into in a trainer unintentionally, I'll save in claws because I need a pre-toxic Amon before the fight. So let me just save really quick. What's up in the chat? Ellen and Plexi. Appreciate y'all dropping in. Hope you guys are having a good day today. So let's see. Is it this way? Okay, yeah. I believe it's this guy down here. So let me save. And I need to pre-toxic my Copper Raja before the fight starts. Which is my 5th slot. So let's do that really quick. Alright, cool. And just triple check all my items here. Life Orb, Citrus, 144 HP. Sharpeak, 241. Person 193, Zoom Lens, Pre-Poisoned, and Charcoal. Alright, this should be good. Let's go ahead and do this fight. Alright. Aqua grunt number 6. He leads a Palpitoad, making this a rain fight. The drizzle sets up the rain for the entirety of the battle. So we have to deal with that. But to start off with a Life Orb, we can just simply fake out into close combat to take out this Politoad here. close combat I'll always KO from here. Alright. So from here, this should always bring in the Polyrath. Perfect. Alright, so it's Polyrath because it has Swift Swim, so it outspeeds my Sneasler. And it sees that it can always KO with Liquidation. It does have Belly Drum too, which can be scary, but it'll always go for a KO over setup. So we're gonna go to Golisopod is pre-damaged to give us an emergency exit here. Alright, critical hit. That's also accounted for here too. So Citrus will bring us above above half health, so we can get another emergency exit later. And then from here we'll go to Dragonite. Alright, and then now we can go. We can always take this Polyrath out with a dual Wing Beat into Extreme Speed, as it goes for a Liquidation here. Alright, so it's at low health, but Extreme Speed will outspeed and take it out. Murak Partel, what's up in the chat? Thanks for popping over, having a good day today. Alright, so this should always bring in the, what's its face? The Noivern. Perfect. And this Noivern is pretty scary because, in the rain, Hurricane has guaranteed accuracy, but it's also holding a Bright Powder, and it has Double Team, which, if it sets up, makes it very, very difficult to land a hit on. Right now, it's either going to go for Dragon Pulse or Double Team, which, in this case, either of which is perfectly fine. We're going to go to our Magna Zone here. Yeah, so there's a Double Team. So normally, with the Double Team and the Bright Powder, this makes it really difficult to land accurate moves. But because it's raining, Thunder also gets guaranteed accuracy in the rain. So no matter how many times it Double Teams, Thunder will always hit because it bypasses the accuracy check in the rain. So we can just go ahead and KO with 2 Thunders here, as it goes for either Dragon Pulse or Double Teams. Yep. Either of which is totally fine for it to do, because, as you see here, Thunder will always hit. Alright, and we can just go for another Thunder. It goes for a Dragon Pulse. And this should always be bringing in, hopefully, the, what's its face? We really want to see Heliolisk come in next, and not the Ferrothorn. Perfect. Alright, so Heliolisk comes in, and it sees its highest damaging move with only Weather Ball. It also has Glare, but it can't use it because Magneton is an electric type. So it can only go for Weather Ball. So because of that, I can go back to Golisopod to get another emergency exit off. Yep, so there's Weather Ball. We get a second emergency exit. And we're gonna bring in Copper. Alright. So, this Heliolisk is also holding a Bright Powder. So to deal with that, I brought Copper in pre-Toxic because it also has Glare. So I can't get paralyzed. And I'm holding a Zoom Lens, which counteracts the Bright Powder, allowing me to always KO with a high horsepower here. And I'll always live a Weather Ball Maxwell crit. So we'll go for high horsepower for the KO. Alright. So that brings Heliolisk down, which just leaves the Ferrothorn last. And the reason why I wanted to bring this in last is because it has Explosion, but because it's the last one out, I can't use it. So it's either it's gonna go for an attacking move. Any move it goes for is perfectly fine for me to swap into my Blaziken here. Okay, so there's a Body Press. Alright, and then from here, even in the rain, let me just triple check. Yeah, even in the rain, Charcoal boosted Overheat will always one-shot here. Alright. Very, very clean fight. Very, very happy with how that fight planned out. Because these fights have been pretty monstrous. The next fight is not going to go as smoothly, I believe. Let me see. Oh, there's an item here. Oh, Sharpedo Knight. That'd be useful if my Sharpedo was still alive, but alas. Alright, so let's go back and heal and prep for the next fight here. Alright, so like I said, the next fight here is gonna be much more scary. Mainly because of this Quick Claw Sturdy Caracosta with Stealth Rocks and this Quick Claw Octillery Sniper with Water Spout. Just dealing ridiculous damage. And then Analytic Life Orb Starmie, which has Analytic Bug within this game to worry about, so I made a sort of game plan for this fight. So yeah, let's look at the calcs for this one here one more time. So, because of the Quick Claw, it's almost impossible to fully prevent Caracosta from setting up Stealth Rocks here. I'm just gonna hope for no Quick Claw proc, and just try to one-shot this thing with my Mega Ampharos, since it has Mold Breaker. Which would bypass the Sturdy ability. And then from there... I think what I wanted to do was try to bait Ice Beam from the Starmie. To then pivot into switch around to bring Dragapult in to KO with Phantom Force. So I could probably go something like Bascule Legion here. And then this would bait yeah, this should bait always Octillery for Ice Beam. Which then I could go Golisopod. Where's he at? Yeah. Golisopod on the Ice Beam. Crit would never bring me below half. First Impression, as it goes for a Water Spout, to then reduce its damage of Water Spout. Let's see, but I need to make sure I have enough team slots here for the other guys. Because I think I wanted to go Hydreigon for Gliscor and I wanted to go Primarina for the Goodra. So I think I could drop Bascule Legion and use Prim as my pivot into Dragapult. Just hold a just holding a Asper Berry. So then from there, this would allow me, so on the Octillery after the First Impression, I could go someone like I could probably go, I think the angle was after using First Impression on the on the Octillery, try to take it out with Kangaskhan Fake Out Sucker Punch. Nicholas, what's up in the chat, bro? Thanks for popping in. Hope you're having a good day today so far. let's see. Yeah, so after, from here, after first impression, I would be baiting Energy Ball, highest damage. To which then I can go probably just Muscle Band Kangaskhan. I could try also going Gyarados here. Let me see. If I give a Muscle Band to Kangaskhan here, Fake Out, Sucker Punch, that'd be 22 plus 25.1. And then first impression is 44.1. Yeah, that's not going to be enough damage. I would have to go for it multiple times. Let's see, what else could I do? Could potentially go maybe Magnezone. I would just be risking Quick Clock Crit. I mean, if I end up needing to sack Kangaskhan, I think that would be fine. But I could also try using someone else. Gyarados would probably be the best bet here. Cause if I give it a Asper Berry to prevent Ice Beam Freeze, even with Quick Claw procs, I should be able to simply outdamage it. And this would always bait Gliscor which can go for facade or sword stance, either of which is perfectly fine, because my Hydreigon can outspeed one shot with Life Orb. Draco, which then baits Dragon Tail, Goodra, and just simply go Prim from there. So yeah, I could go either of these guys. Let's see, what about Black Glasses on Octillery here? How much damage would that deal? 19.9 plus 27.2. 47.1 plus 41.1. That deals slightly more damage. Let me just double check that one more time. Let's see, Muscle Band. 22 plus 25.1. Plus 44.1. Oh no, Muscle Band would deal more. Yeah, I think I'd rather risk Kangaskhan over Gyarados. If he gets Quick Clock for it, then it is what it is. From there though, so then if I do sack, then I can just bring in Gliscopod again, go for another First Impression KO. That would bait also Gliscor, which again, we can just do the same line. But again, a lot of this rides on Gliscopod not taking too much damage, which would be very bad if the Caracosta gets a turn 1 Quick Claw. So, yeah. Yeah, I think I'm fine bringing Kangaskhan, because if I get really unlucky and things start going wrong, I can always just sack Kangaskhan to gain tempo. So, yeah, I think I'm okay with this plan here. Jace Kamar, what's up in the Twitch chat? I'm doing well, thanks for popping in. Hoping you're having a good day today. Doing pretty well so far, just planning out a super difficult Pokemon battle here. How are things going with you? Hope your day's going well so far. Alright, so let's form this plan here. Alright, so for this battle we need Ampharos. We need Primarina. We need Dragapult. We need Gliscopod. Bringing a lot of our heavy hitters here. We need Hydreigon. And then Kangaskhan for For items, we need Mega Ampharosite. We need Asperberry for you and for you. We need a Cherry Berry for you. We need the Life Orb for you. And then Muscle Band for Tina Turner. Alright. And then for pre-damaging, I just need a pre-damaged Ampharos. Oh, I need to update his level here. Let's see, 60.1. Let's see, 60.1. Yeah, that would bypass the analytic bug. So it wouldn't be psychic. It would always have to be Ice Beam. So I could pre-damage Ampharos to 151 HP. Assuming I don't get super unlucky and I don't get a quick claw and an attack from the Caracosta. It should always be Ice Beam from Starmie. And again, we really do not want a quick claw on the first turn here. But if it happens, it happens. I think we could steer if that happens, but it would still be very, very tough. Alright, so let me just triple check the line one more time. Poco Claw doesn't proc KO Caracosta, bait Ice Beam Starmie. Pivot through Prim into Dragapult, KO with Phantom Force, bait Ice Beam from Octillery. Go Golisopod. Hit him with a First Impression. And then maybe a Sucker Punch 2 if I'm above 153 HP. Go to Kangaskhan, try to outdamage, and then play it out from there. Alright, I think this is good. This is still a super scary fight, but it should work out. let's go ahead and do this here. Just really pray we don't get some super bad luck on this fight. We really gotta dodge some fiction here. But Quick Claw is a 20% chance, so it's not like horribly unlikely, which is why it's super scary. If it was 10% chance, that would be another thing, but that's not the case here. So go here, 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 and go up this way. Pot all these guys. Go here. Is there a hidden item here? No. Alright, so we just beat this guy, so the next trainer is up there. Alright, so let me save. Alright, and then let me just triple check everything one more time. Ampharosite, Asperberry, Cherry Berry, Asperberry, Life Orb, Muscle Band, and 151 HP for my Ampharos. That's outside of Psychic, Analytic Bug, Boosted Psychic. So it should always be Ice Beam from Starmie. Alright. Alright, this fight is super scary, but I think we got it here. Let's just be confident. Alright, Team Aqua Grunt, number 7. Alright, so he leads Caracosta that has Stealth Rocks with the ability Sturdy and is holding a Quick Claw, which basically makes it almost impossible to prevent it from setting up Stealth Rocks on the first turn. What I'm going to do is Mega Ampharos has the ability Mold Breaker, which will bypass the Sturdy ability. However, if Caracosta does get a Quick Claw proc, it will majority of the time set up Stealth Rocks, which we do not want. So it's only a 20% chance, but we really do not want to see Stealth Rocks here. If it does set up Stealth Rocks, then that's going to add a lot more risk to this fight. So I'm going to go for Thunderbolt. It'll always one-shot. Hopefully we don't see a proc here. Ah, man! Okay, there we go. Of course we get the unlock. Alright, well here we go. This is gonna be a battle now. Yep, so there's Stealth Rocks. Super unfortunate. Alright, so this is gonna bring in, this should always be Starmie. Which has a Life Orb and has Analytic, which is bugged in this game, to see that if you moved first on the previous turn, it sees that its move gets boosted, even if it's faster than you. But With this pre-damage, it should always be Psychic. It should always go for Ice Beam no matter what. So we're gonna go to Primarina, who's holding a Asper Berry in case of freeze, to take the Ice Beam here. Ideally, we don't see... From here on out, we really do not want to see any crits. Alright, so now it's going to go for highest damage move, which is Thunderbolt. So now we're going to go to Dragapult. Alright, and I'm holding a Cherry Berry in case of Thunderbolt Paralysis. And then now from here I can outspeed and one-shot with Phantom Force. Alright. So now this should always be Octillery. Yeah. So now this is where the unluck is. Unfortunately, because of the Stealth Rocks, I need to deal damage to this thing with Golisopod, but because it's a bug type, it's going to deal 25% damage. I'm going to swap in on an Ice Beam. This thing has the ability Sniper, and it has a Quick Claw. We really, really, really do not want to see Ice Beam crit here. If it does crit, it's going to proc Emergency Exit early, which we really, really do not want to see. So, I'm going to swap to Golisopod. We do not want to see Ice Beam crit here. Alright, please, please no crit. Please no crit. Please don't crit. Okay, good. Okay. Alright, so that's good, because now this thing is still a demon because because of Sniper, it doubles its damage with critical hits. And has Water Spout, which deals crazy damage. But on the first turn, Golisopod's out. First Impression will out-prioritize Octillery, even if it gets a Quick Claw proc. Right now it sees its highest damaging move is Water Spout, but because I'm going to attack it first, Water Spout's damage is related to your total HP. This will bring it down to about half, severely reducing the amount of damage that the Water Spout will deal here. And majority of the time I think it will proc, because of the Stealth Rocks, it'll probably also proc Emergency Exit here, which would also be very good. So we're going to go for First Impression here to deal some damage. Alright, that's good damage. That's about half there. Okay, so we do get Emergency Exit. That's actually ideal here. Because now I can bring in my my Kangaskhan without taking a hit. So now from here, it can't go for a Water Spout because its damage is severely reduced. And it sees its highest damaging move with Octazooka. So, this is where Kangaskhan, it could potentially get KO'd here. I'm going to try to outdamage it with priority moves. So, for turn 1, I'm going to go for a Fake Out. Again, any priority move will counter the effect of the Quick Claw proc. So, we'll go for a Fake Out first. Alright, and then we'll go for a Sucker Punch. Hopefully we see a KO here. If it doesn't, we need to not see a critical hit Octazooka or a Octazooka accuracy drop. Ah, so close. Alright. No crit, no drop. Nice. Alright, good. So now another Sucker Punch just kills here. See? So, Quick Claw procs, but Sucker Punch will still hit first. Perfect. Okay. Alright, this is really good. That was the most scary part of the fight. So now this should always be Gliscor. It's either gonna go for an attack or set up sword stance, either of which is perfectly fine. We're gonna go to our Hydreigon, who should be holding a life orb. Perfect. So we'll go to Hydreigon here. Alright, so let's see. Alright, so Sword Stance. That was one of the expected options, and this thing also has Toxic Heal. But with the Life Orb, we can outspeed, and Draco Meteor always one-shots from here. Alright. So this just leaves a Goodra, which does have Curse and Leftovers. But even after the special attack drop from the Draco, it should still see that I outspeed and two-shot with Draco Meteor. So it can't set up Curse. It has to go for highest damaging move, which is going to be... which will be the Dragon Tail, which is the perfect move for me to swap into Primarina. I'm going to take another chip of rocks here, which is a little scary. But it should always be going for Dragon Tail here. Perfect. Alright, then now we can go KO this thing with 2 Moonblasts. Okay, so Aqua Tail. Alright. Alright, I need to see how much damage an Aqua Tail crit deals here. Alright, max roll Aqua Tail crit is only 66. Alright, perfect. We always have a crit, and we can always, even after the leftovers, Moonblast will always KO here. Woo! Let's freaking go! Woo! That's what I'm talking about. I don't care about stealth rocks. Oh my gosh. Oh, that fight is so freaking scary. And we get the me first TM here. Oh my gosh. My heart sank a little bit when I saw that Quick Claw proc with the Quick Claw stealth rocks. Man, we outplayed that though. I'm super happy with that. Alright. Alright, so now it's just 2 fights left. There is a grassy terrain fight, and then it's the Aqua admin mat fight. Both of which also look pretty scary. So I don't know if I want to do those today or save them. Yeah, because just getting past that last fight was like already a big milestone that I wanted to get. Yeah. Whew. Okay. Man, my heart's racing. Yeah, we could at least take a look at the next fight really quick. I did look at it a little bit, but I don't have I didn't form a super solid game plan. But it is permanent grassy terrain. So I think my game plan here was 1v1 Rillaboom with Crobat using if I hold Sharp Beak, I show fast KO, so it can only go for grassy glides, and I can out heal that with leech lives. We should always bait slow kill from Ampharos with Thunderbolts. I can pivot through Excadrill and let's see, Excadrill and Masculine Legion to PP stall the Focus Blast to then, because it has a Quick Claw, to then KO with a high horsepower. And then I could pre-toxic Excadrill and give it a muscle band. Because if I pivot through the grassy terrain, should it will out heal the first turn of toxic from the pivots. And then I wouldn't have to worry about Quick Claw, HP Ice Freeze. So that would then... What would that bait in next, though? That should always bait... I should always bait Obstagoon. Because it's faster and out damages with close combat. From there, I could go... I can go a few guys. I can go like Sneasler. I can go Sneasler for the KO. Which would either bait Tentacruel or let's see, Wobbuffet has... So I remember for the baiting, it's weird with when it comes to Wobbuffet. Because special cases like Wobbuffet get a +2, but then it's additive. So if the AI is faster and out damages, then it's +3. But if the AI is slower and out damages, then it's only +2. So then in that case, if I KO'd Obstagoon with Sneasler, let's see, after defense drops, I would show fast KO on Ludicolo, so it can never be Ludi. Tentacruel would see that it's slower, but it can out damage after the defense drops from close combat, which means it would have to be Wobbuffet, because it would be a tied score of 2. And Wobbuffet is first in the order. So if I do go that route, I would have to give Sneasler a shed shell, just in case. Yeah. And then if that happens, then this is where I bring Salazzle to Toxic Stall. Salazzle would always bait a slow kill with Scald or Toxic Spikes from Tentacruel. Which I could counter with let's see, I still need to something that would deal with Ludi as well. Could go. Let's see. Crobat could also deal with Ludi. So... because I show fast KO as well with Brave Bird, so then I can just go for Leech Lives. As it goes for Grassy Glides. Yeah, this is the first battle where Crobat actually pops off. Quad resisting to grass. So then the question is, how do I deal with the Tentacruel? I'd always go for a Scald or Toxic Spikes on Salazzle. So... I could go... Dragonite, maybe? Or... maybe... let's see. This would be a great opportunity if I still had Roserade. Roserade would probably outspeed and one-shot this thing. But alas. I think Hydreigon would probably be good. Because... Dragon Darts would still two-shot even with Black Sludge and Grassy Terrain Recovery. Which means I could just give it a... I could just give it a Rost Berry in case of Scald Burn. And then... that would bait Ludi. And it would always be Grassy Glide, because it sees that I can't go for Sword Stance because I outspeed and two-shot it. So then I can just go straight to Crobat and deal with it. Right, so I think I actually have a pretty good... I think we can get this fight done, actually. Yeah, so let's recap. So... 1v1 Rillaboom with Crobat. To bait Slow Kill Thunderbolt from Ampharos. Go Exca pre-Toxic. Pivot between him and Bascule Legion to bait to PP stall all the Focus Blasts. To then KO with High Horsepower. Which should always be fast KO from the Obstagoon, which should out-prioritize Wobbuffet, because outspeed and out-damage is +3, and Wobbuffet is only +2. So that should be guaranteed Obstagoon close combat. We go Sneasler holding a Shed Shell, which would then bait Wobbuffet. We go Salazzle. Toxic Stall to bait Scald from Tentacruel. We go Dragapult, KO with 2 Dragon Darts. Bait Ludi, Grassy Glide, and then take it out with Crobat. And if Crobat wouldn't be affected by the Toxic Spikes if it does get set up. Alright, so I think this looks good. Alright, so why don't we set this up here. Alright, so we need Crobat come into its first battle. We need Excadrill. We need Bascule Legion. We're keeping Dragapult. We need Salazzle. And we need Sneasler. me just check one thing here. Restores the HP of grounded Pokemon each turn. Yeah, so if I pre-toxic Excadrill, the first turn would be a 16th HP, which Grassy Glide would counteract. So I could just to be safe, I could also pre-damage my Excadrill to show a fast KO from the Obstagoon if I wanted to be super safe. Yeah, so I could pre-damage him to like 230. So, yeah, no harm in doing that. If Ampharos does get a Quick Claw HP Ice, it would still bait only... It should still only bait... Well, actually, if I take too much damage, I might bait Scald from the Tentacruel, which would not be good. So... I probably actually wouldn't want to do that. My only worry is potentially baiting in Wobbuffet early, but based on the bait score, it should never be Wobbuffet if the AI sees a Mon that's faster and deals more damage. Which Obstagoon, even without being burned, clearly does with knockoff. I mean, with a close combat. Yeah, because Tentacruel outspeeds but doesn't outdamage. Ludicolo is slower and outdamages, but Obstagoon is faster and outdamages. So Obstagoon should take highest priority on the baiting. Yeah, so I think I think I'm safe to just leave Excadrill at full health. So then from there, no, I don't think any pre-damaging is necessary. So then, I just need, let's see. We need Muscle Band for Exca. We need Sharkbeak for Crobat. We need no item for Basculegion. We need Shed Shell for for my Sneasler. Alright, and then we need a Rostberry or Dragapult. And that should be it. Check the damage ranges here. So I do have to be careful though, because Run&Bun doesn't have a focus band, and it can go for Endeavor. Let me just check something really quick. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, he can't go for Endeavor because I show fast KO with Brave Bird. Okay, yeah, so we're good. We are good. This looks to be good. Let's go ahead and let's just do this one more fight here, and then I'll save Matt for later. Because I did do a quick look at his fight, and his Raikou looks like to be a huge problem with my box. So I may have to go for my Team Magma Hideout encounter to hopefully roll a Garchomp if needed. But we'll see. That fight I definitely want to spend the most time trying to plan. Oh, yeah, wrong way. So go this way, left, and then same. Then we go this way. And then we beat these guys, so we go up here. Next trainer's over here. Alright, let me save. And triple check all my items here. And then, oh yeah, I have to pre-toxic Excadrill. There we go. So Sharp Beak, Muscle Band, pre-toxic, no item, Shed Shell, no item, Frostberry. And let me just check the calcs one last time. Yeah, so this should be good. Yeah, if my baiting knowledge is correct, this should actually be a pretty straightforward fight for the most part. And I triple checked that all my calcs were in grassy terrain. Yeah. Let's see. I'm not missing anything else, am I? Yeah, this should all be good. Alright, yeah. Alright, let's do it. Oh, let me... I don't think I ever pulled up the sheet here. Yeah, let me do that really quick. Yeah, here we go. So, there's the team set. But, let's go ahead and do this here. Alright, Aqua Grunt number 8. Last one before add for max. And this is a permanent grassy terrain fight. Alright, so to start off, this Rillaboom obviously has Grassy Glide to give it priority in grassy terrain. But it also has a Focus Band with Endeavor. Which, if the Focus Band procs, you can use Endeavor to leave you at 1 HP. However, with holding a Sharp Beak, my Crobat shows that he can outspeed and one-shot Rillaboom, which means that Rillaboom has to go for Grassy Glide always because it sees it as a priority, which the AI would want to use if it sees that it's about to get KO'd. And I'm going to use that to my advantage because it can only go for Grassy Glide. I can go for Leech Life to heal myself back up, which will out-heal the Grassy Glide damage. We just need to not get multiple Focus Band procs. That's the only thing we need to avoid here. So, we'll always see Grassy Glide, or Grassy Glide. Leech Life will heal us back up. Yep, just like that. And we can just go for a few of these. Keep repeating until this thing's dead. So it'll probably take 2 more, barring the Focus Band procs. Yeah, so critical hit, doesn't matter. Alright. So now, we just hope to not see multiple Focus Band procs here. There we go. Easy peasy. Alright, so now this should always be baiting in the Ampharos next. Perfect. Yeah, so Ampharos sees a slow KO with Thunderbolt, I believe. Yep. This thing also has Focus Blast, HP Ice, and then Counter. And it's holding a Quick Claw. So to deal with this thing, right now it's always going to go for Thunder, or Thunderbolts. So I'm going to go to my my Excadrill here, who will be immune. Yep, just like that. I'm pre-toxic. I will explain that later. So we are going to pivot between my Excadrill and my my Basculegion to basically remove all of its Focus Blast PPs. Because if the Quick Claw procs, Focus Blast can KO my Excadrill. So we're gonna go do that back and forth here. Okay, so there's Focus Blast number 1. So now I should always go for Thunderbolts. We go back. Yeah, so the pre-toxic damage gets out maneuvered by the Grassy Glide, so it'll always move me back to full. Alright, so now we just need to see 4 more Focus Blasts here. So we're just going to keep pivoting back and forth. So Focus Blast number 2. It should only have 5 in total because Focus Blast is not its first move. So 2 so far. Thunderbolts. Alright, so this should be Focus Blast number 3. Perfect. Alright, so 2 more. We're not going to do a complete PP stall, I just need to PP stall the Focus Blast completely. So this should be Focus Blast number 4. And then we just need 1 more before it's all used up. So this will be the last one here. Alright, perfect. So now it should be completely out of Focus Blasts. So now, and just triple checking that. Yeah, Focus Blast is not the first move on its list, so in this game, the first move in its order is PP maxed, but for this Ampharos, Thunderbolt is its first move, which means the Thunderbolt is the only move that's PP maxed. So Focus Blast should only have 5 instead of 8. So we should be safe to go now back to Excadrill. And then we could finally go for high horsepower for the KO. And the reason why I was pre-toxic this whole time is because if the Quick Claw does proc, its next highest damaging move is HP Ice, which does have a chance to freeze. So if that does happen, we're perfectly fine because we're already statused, and high horsepower will always one-shot here. Alright, and there we go. Very clean. Alright, so now what should come in next should always be the Obstagoon. Perfect. Yeah, so Obstagoon sees that it outspeeds and outdamages me with close combat. And this thing also has Guts with the Flame Orb equipped, so once that procs, he'll deal a lot more damage. Right now, he can only go for close combat, which before it's burned, my Sneasler can take fairly well. So we're gonna go to her here. Oh, it could have also obstructed too, which is perfectly fine. Now we can just outspeed and one-shot with a close combat. Alright, and then from here, if my baiting knowledge is correct for this game, this should always be Wobbuffet. Yeah. Alright, good. So I anticipated that this thing, you know, obviously it has Shadow Tag. So knowing this, I equipped Sneasler the Shed Shell, which allows me to swap out of Shadow Tag. And I can now swap to my my Salazzle. Alright, and then now I can just use Toxic and just stall this thing until it's KO'd. A lot of stalling strategies for this fight here. Alright, so in about 4 or 5 turns, it should be out of HP here. So we'll just keep spamming Toxic until it's dead. Yeah, the Grassy Glide can't out-heal the Toxic damage because the Toxic doubles each turn. Yeah, leftovers don't matter either. So we'll just be here for a little bit. Keep going here. Yeah, and if at any point too it does use Dusty Bond, even if it KOs after using it, it won't work because I've never actually attacked it. Dusty Bond only works if you've done an attacking move on it. Alright, so a few more turns should be able to do it here. Yeah, so there's a Dusty Bond. Like I said, this won't work because I never actually attacked it. And I think this should be the last one. Yeah. Alright, perfect. So Wobbuffet is dealt with. This should always bring in Tentacruel next. Alright, so Tentacruel sees it sees a KO with Scald. It's either going to use that or set up Toxic Spikes here. Either of which is perfectly fine to swap into our Dragapult. Yeah, so Toxic Spikes, perfectly fine, because that's never going to affect us for the rest of the battle. And from here, 2 Dragon Darts will always 2-shot, even with its Black Sludge recovery and the Grassy Surge recovery. So we'll just go ahead and KO with 2 Dragon Darts here. Yep, and it's going to go for Sludge Bombs, which won't deal that much damage. And then one more should do it here. Perfect. So Tentacruel goes down. This should just leave a Ludicolo. Alright, and this Ludicolo does have Swords Dance, but he can't use it because he sees that my Dragapult outspeeds and 2-shots it with Dragon Darts, so He can only go for Grassy Glide here, which is Grass Gem boosted, but even Grass Gem boosted, a Grass Gem boosted Grassy Glide deals very little to my Crobat here. So we're gonna go back to Crobat here. Alright, and then same exact situation as the start of the battle with the Rillaboom. Ludicolo sees that I can outspeed in one shot with Brave Bird, which means he has to go for Grassy Glide always. Which means I can just use Leech Lives to outdamage and heal against the Grassy Glides here. And this will be about a 2. Low likely for a 2-shot, but still perfectly fine. Alright. Very nice. And one more will do it. Alright, and there we go. All of the Team Aqua grunts are now officially dealt with. I'm very glad to get past all those guys. Yeah, so again, this just leaves the Aqua admin map. I'm not gonna do that now. I need more time to prep for that. But I am just glad to be done with all the grunts. These fights have been very daunting. So to finally get past all those feels really nice. I don't have to deal with any stupid hacks items for a while now. Alright, so I think that's a good place to stop. I really appreciate anyone who tuned in to watch. Hope everyone has a great rest of their day. And I will see everyone in my next